Oh, as an aside, I decided from this video that I will be doing a voiceover of a recording that I did, learning how to use Adobe Animate, and just basically going over the principles of just animating stuff, since that's something I really want to incorporate in future videos. This is just a little something that I can provide as something that you could look at as I get into it. Hey, what's up everybody? It's your boy Abdul, also known as the Somalian Juice Man. Finally back with another video, and today we're focusing on the finance aspect of things. I think it's been a few weeks since I uploaded my last video on the introduction of money, and my intention for this video is to start on the first episode of this series of introducing the world of money on the side of YouTube. So I'm glad that you guys are watching this video, are sticking around to hear what I have to say, since in those span of weeks, probably a month and a half or so, I decided to take some time to think about it and to shift my thinking a bit, so it isn't something that is rather cookie cutter, but rather it's coming from a place of shifting my consciousness and expanding my understanding of money from a holistic sense and a energetic sense. So if you're looking at the title of this video, this is my area of focus being, well, what exactly is money? And I wanted to address that question by thinking of a question that popped up in my head a few days ago. To give you some context, I was at work and I had this question popped up in my head, since I've been doing some work during the summer, kind of just shifting my reality and overall understanding and my use of money when it comes to building my lifestyle. And this question that popped up my head that you may be wondering is, well, what exactly makes the world go round? And the intention for asking that question was rooted in trying to understand people's motivations in life and hoping to see the parallel to money, as I believe that there is a common denominator that holds everything together and thereby makes everything and everything related from a macrocosmic level. So with that question, I asked some of my coworkers, and I had a few answers. One of my coworkers said that what makes the world go round is greed, specifically with CEOs or people in positions of power in major companies. Another coworker of mine said sex makes the world go round, and another coworker said free food. And as an aside, shout out to my coworkers, y'all are real people. If you guys are watching this, y'all know who you are. And I tried my best when it came to me probing that question to make it from a place of non-judgment and to just be open to receive any type of answer, to see where people's heads were at and to get some ideas about this question regarding money. And I guess my answer to my own question of what makes the world go round is energy, specifically the energy of money and what it represents for us as beings. So what is money? I'm pretty sure that this question has been asked by countless people in the past, in the present, probably in the future. You have it. And the question being, what is money? What exactly is money? Is money the dollar? Is money a precious metal? Is it something that rusts? Does it grow on trees? Is it something that's physically tangible? Can you eat it? Is it an instrument? Whatever. And I would say a better answer to that question is to examine what I believe money revolves around. I believe money centralizes the overarching concept of debt. To further elaborate, I would like to define what debt is in this discussion. So I think debt is something that you owe based on a service, an endeavor, or anything of the sort that requires the opposite party to provide a form of compensation. Debt, I believe, is a two-way street, meaning there is good debt and there is bad debt. And to give better context as to what I mean by good and bad regarding debt, bad and good in this case depicts whether or not your actions are a liability or an asset towards your own personal capital. In respect to bad debt, I would say it's receiving a service from someone or something and you having to pay for it. As for good debt, it's expounding your energy to provide a commodity, and people essentially pay for the services that you provide. Is this to say that receiving a service from an entity or from somebody is inherently evil, or that wasting your energy in providing a service to people or a group of people or an entity is something that is good? No, I don't think so. It's not inherently good or evil from a moralistic standpoint. I find such attributes to be rather primordialistic in that it's something that has been socially constructed based on one's perception that has later been agreed upon over time. Kind of like money, but that's a whole different discussion in itself. But in the sense of debt, what's considered bad and what is considered good, in my understanding, comes from whether or not you're receiving a gain or you're receiving a loss based on you giving a service or you receiving a service. To give an example, say that you're getting a mortgage for a rental property or a home. Some would consider that to be bad debt to some extent, since you're paying a certain amount of money every month for an X amount of time, whether that be for like 20 years, 30 years, it could range. To add a little bit more flavor to this, I would say that time is something that is constant, and it can be a best friend to you or an enemy to you, depending on how we use it. That being said, getting back to the mortgage, in order to flip that situation into something that isn't detrimental to your capital, a solution that has been done for countless of years is basically just like renting out that room to reduce the cost. So having a few tenants in your home or in your apartment or whatever paying you a certain amount of money every month that goes into your expense. So really, it's not really going against your overall capital and you building up passive streams of income. So that could be considered good debt. It's honestly how you look at it and how you flip the situation. Going back to the discussion of time, something that is constant, I believe that's what makes energy in this discussion of money so valuable, is that time is the true commodity, in that once that second in that moment passes, that one particular second doesn't come back. You spending time mowing the lawn is time that you sacrifice that you will never get back. Never. There is no way in our current space of reality that we can travel back in time to alter our decision in providing a service for somebody. So having that understanding alone, it's like can one even quantify or even begin to try to justify how valuable one's service is? Is minimum wage really predicated on assessing one's value of service holistically? Personally, I don't think so, and I don't even think we've even really begun to fully ascertain the value of time and really able to quantify something as abstract as providing a service. And simply put, what makes time and energy so valuable is that it's a form of a sacrifice. It takes one to give. You're sacrificing something in exchange for something. You're creating a space where you are making a transaction for something that you deem valuable and the other person deems valuable, which makes it a mutual exchange. And I believe that this is an idea that has been recognized ever since history has first recorded an instance where money transactions has been made as a means of validating debt. Debt is a service that to this day has no definitive way, like I said before, of quantifying its actual worth. It's why money today is a concept that is almost worshipped today, because it is the closest thing that we can have to even attributing one's efforts, instead of just coming up with a random form of currency constantly. An idea that popped up in my head was thinking about one of the rules or one of the laws of the 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene, which I recommend checking out. It's a really cool book. And one of the laws was despising the free lunch. And I thought this law goes into this point that I want to really drive home with energy that has been said in physics, and just like has been said countless times, is that energy isn't something that you can create or can destroy. It's only transferred and transformed. Inherently, energy is not stationary. Energy builds up from a summation or a culmination of itself, or just transforms its whole being together and moves around like water. It's why you hear people say that economies of all walks, businesses of all talks, must have cash flow. Money has to be moving and has to be put to work. It is okay with that understanding to be broke cash-wise, since your investments are moving around your network of assets. This could range from stocks, your online cologne business, real estate, whatever is helping you circulate your money. And something that I do personally right now at the moment that is subject to change is I work and I have a specific checking account that receives direct deposit. I take whatever it is that I use in my checking account and I put it into my savings account, which first goes through a separate checking account that has easy access to my other savings accounts, so I can easily divide up specific things that I want to use for future things, so like an emergency fund, business endeavors, housing, what have you. And the key thing with that is, one, it can be up for your own style and to your own liking, but it has to hold your money and it has to be circulated so it's not getting lost through transactions that are considered liabilities, what have you. And I believe that the best way to cultivate this energy and to circulate it is to recognize its existence for what it is. It is something that is malleable and transferable. So really, you're not really making money from thin air. Rather, you're attracting it to your circle. But if you don't have a net to safeguard that energy from leaking when it does decide to come around your presence, then it's gone and it's going to go somewhere else. In short, what makes the world go round? Energy. It's the energy of money. It will always be there. You just have to be open to receive it and be worth receiving. Some things that we tackled were about debt and the significance of debt as we recognize how fleeting and valuable time is. We recognize that money is a form of energy and that whatever medium that you have energetically, it's no different from the yuan or the US dollar or gold or Bitcoin. I could be wrong, but that's how I see it. And that having that understanding of energy, that cash flow is honestly just the way to go. And that it's okay to be broke and not have cash. And when we're dealing with money, I think the best thing to do in terms of getting rid of certain words or vocabulary is the word good and evil from a moralistic standpoint. With that said, I'd like to wrap up this video, and if you enjoyed watching that, just hit the subscribe button if you hadn't already. Like the video and share it if you resonated with the message, and let other people who want to enjoy the video like you did to enjoy it. And next time, we're going to delve into the principle of cash flow from the principle of the feminine energy, and how it's something that will be pivotal in your experience of playing the money game. So yeah, it's your boy Abdul, aka the Somalian Juice Man, and I will catch you later. Be easy, stay safe, and most importantly, wear your masks. God damn it.